speaking with Dr. Juan Mejia this morning on ETX Covered, president of Tyler Junior College. So, Dr. Mejia, how has TJC bucked the trend of falling enrollment and not lost students?
I really do believe that we heard the students and they needed to come back. Many said online modality is not my choice of instruction. It's not the way that I learn. So we had to therefore reinvent the college in a faster way. So a little bit, we were already working towards this new scenario planning. It just got here. Little did we know. Our plan was to have this plan done by 2021. Little did we know that March we were going to be having to reinvent everything. So I believe that the reason is really, while some people can attribute luck, it's a very small percent. And I'm talking about the majority was strategy, it was thoughtfulness, it was intent, it was a very master plan effort by the college. So again, not to reiterate, but we came back. We were here face to face with physical distancing. And David, I like the term physical distance over social distancing. I believe that although right now we talk about social distancing, this is among the times that we need to be as socially engaged as possible. So therefore, the college did the best effort to be socially engaged and to assess everything, how we were going to deliver the instruction. So as an example, we changed every classroom so that instead of capacity that we're traditionally used to having, we had to remove chairs so that we could provide the 6-foot distancing within each class. So you can imagine the logistics of that. All of a sudden, instead of having a class with 30 students, we might have a class with 12 students. So therefore, it requires more classrooms, different pedagogy and andragogy styles of how to deliver that instruction. So it was really a master plan, the best that we could. Now, hindsight being 2020, could we have done some things better? Absolutely. But for the most part, I believe that we were at the forefront at the national level that we were handling this pandemic.
So what do you think will be the long-term impacts on higher education from this pandemic? And what do you think will go back to the traditional model?
Sure. So I do believe that there will be some long-term impact, and I dread some of those. So I'll start I'll start negative now, I'll try to go positive. So some of them, I do believe that many students are missing out on the true experience of higher ed. And that is, there are many commuter colleges in the state of Texas and throughout the country that you go from your parking lot to the classroom, back to the parking lot, you go home, and you never really connect to an institution. At Tyler Junior College, what's made this institution great is this incredible synergy that takes place when people come on campus. We welcome our community to the campus. So athletics had to be tabled to the spring semester for consideration, and we're still going to be monitoring. So for those out there thinking, are we just being careless and saying, well, sure, we're going to do it, we're going to be monitoring by sport what we can roll out in the spring. Performance groups like the Apache Bells, who have been around since 1947, performing to thousands of audience members. All of a sudden, we had to reinvent how we do that. And again, our expectations are to launch this in the spring. Our marching band, we have a wall of sound, over 200 students in our marching band, and all of a sudden they're practicing, but there's no performances. So that's got to be tough right now. So our expectations are we're going to turn our belt as best as we can this semester, so that in the spring we get to a more level of normalcy. So I do believe that number one, East Texas already, thanks to studies that have been done by the universities and the health science centers here, our very own, mental health or brain health is an area of concern. And I do worry about that, about the correlation between a situation like this and the brain health of some of our students, even employees who are having to deal with this pandemic that really, now we know a little bit more about it, but it's been just-in-time learning and adjusting to it. Now, I'd like to go on the positive side a little bit. I believe there's some things that we're going to, that this is going to serve us well. I've heard the term about the new normal. I don't like that term at all. If this is the new normal, this is not what we want. So one thing about East Texas is a friendly place. It's a place that truly cares. It's connected. One can stay active every evening of the week because there are activities. There's philanthropic organizations, nonprofit organizations. I believe that we all are going to value more what we had so freely, and that is the opportunity to come together. And I believe we're going to be off to a better normal, that we're going to remember what we did not like about this current situation, and we're going to rise through this. I do celebrate the greater East Texas region because I believe that through this very challenging time, We're going to learn a lot. We're going to be transparent about what was not working. We're going to make it work, and we're going to thrive through this and come out a better region and really lead the way for the state and country.
Dr. Mejia, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much. It's been an honor, and I wish you continued success as you tell the stories of East Texas.
Well, smaller schools often have different challenges meeting the needs of their students. But coming up, we'll talk to the president of Trinity Valley Community College about the ways that it is adapting.